Payal is not coming?
Payal messaged me that she is on her way back from Karla.
What?
So she may be delayed. So she's gone.
From Parla.
Karla cave, I think.
Oh. We'll have time till 1:30, right? It's 1 hour or something?
Yes, 1 full hour.
Okay. Some set of questionnaire has been prepared. Of course, with consultation with her. In fact, I told her that it's best that you guide me to it more than I putting things in that perspective.
So I'll open and then I'll do a small introduction of her. You can tell us a little bit more about her and then you can.
Yeah, you can open with a short biodata that is given to you. I will have a couple of liners to speak of, just a simple opening statements.
Yeah.
And then I'll get straight to the business. I hope she is, I've sent her a gentle reminder in the morning. Is Abhijit around?
I'm sure he will join.
Okay. आज भी कुछ है मिरर में.
हाँ अब वो आ रही है एक APSS से ऑक्साना करके कोई है तो
हाँ मुझे बता रही थी अभी आ जाओ.
डॉक्टर अलका की तरफ से मुझे थोड़ा सा ऑडियंस दीजिए आई वांट टू मीट मुंबई पीपल ऐसा है.
Nice.
So a lot of people are not coming for whatever reason, but I will be.
Have you called her up? I'm calling her up just to. He's not picking up. आप भी बात करके देखो. आपका नंबर है आपके पास?
मेरे पास नंबर नहीं है. आई थिंक फाइल अबाउट कोऑर्डिनेट.
मैं भेजता हूँ आपको. आप भी ट्राई करिए. उठा नहीं रही, पता नहीं क्यों. बात तो हो गई थी. She was in Bangalore. She came back day before yesterday. आ गया देखिए आपको. आप ट्राई करिए. गुड मॉर्निंग रतिका, कैसे हो तुम?
Hi, good morning, Shankar ji. Good morning, everybody.
How is Lucknow treating you?
Oh, absolutely fine. Oh, I'm just sitting somewhere. So I'll just switch on the video in a while.
So you take your time, no hurry.
Yeah, one moment.
Very close friend of mine, Amla, she has joined, so say hello to her as well. Hi Amla, how are you doing? Madam Amla, how are you doing?
Hi Shankar, glad to join in. Looking forward to this session.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We're just waiting for the main person.
Hi, Deepak ji, how are you?
Hi Ratika, wonderful. How about you?
Very well, very well. Good to see you after a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, same.
Yes.
रतिका तुम
Yeah.
कहीं बाहर लग रहे हो यार, मुझे लग रहा है
हाँ
कि
मैं
तुम
बाहर हूँ, बस बीच बीच में whatever time getting I'm just trying to yeah 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 yeah
ठीक है fine.
sure,
We
just
were
looking
waiting
forward.
for our
Yeah
guest to
Yeah,
join.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure it's going to be an interesting program.
yeah sure.
It's gone live as well, I guess. So we don't know how many
Yes,
people are
we are live.
watching it.
Let's see.
Have you tried her number?
Message her. Yes,
So have I.
yes, let's see.
She replied. I'm trying a number as well. Deepak, I got this strip saying it has gone live streaming, and I've just said okay. Is that
Yes,
okay?
yes, yeah. At 12:30 we go live on Facebook. Yeah, we are live.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's not answered, but I guess she's coming online. So are you there today in the evening, Deepak?
Yes, I'll be there. Yes.
Oh, good. I too will try. डॉक्टर अलका का फोन आया था सुबह सुबह, yes, right. Did you get any reply, Deepak?
No, no reply.
Surprised. Very surprised.
Let me see. I call.
Normally it shouldn't be happening like this. Yesterday I sent a message, she responded, and today morning I sent her a message. She's not one of those kinds who would just, I mean, that's out of question according to me. Sorry about it, guys. There are so many other people also waiting. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are just waiting for a host to come in. And the moment, I mean, not the host, but the guest to come in. And the moment she joins in, we are going to go on with this podcast. Hi, Rajiv. How are you doing? Rajiv is a school friend of mine. Pretty particular about his food habits. Hi, Jayashree. Uh, Deepak, I suggest you call her. You're mute.
Yeah. So I called her. There's no reply. I messaged her again.
I'll probably have to quiz one of us
Yes.
about the food at this rate. This guy. Hi, Rajiv. How are you? Rajiv, how are you doing? Okay. One second. Hello. Yeah, she is just joining in. There is a mishap in the family. It just happened.
Oh.
So this is to the viewers. Hi, Ramprasad. Our guest is joining in a minute. Unfortunately, there has been some unforeseen circumstances which has prevented her from some medical issues, apparently. So she will join in exactly a minute or two. So is everybody ready with their breakfast and lunch, or are you finished your breakfast and yet to go for lunch?
Yeah. Sunday is a day
I
where
know,
there is no real differentiation between breakfast
I
or
know,
lunch or
I
brunch.
know. So Ratika, are you still out somewhere having some fresh air?
Hello. Yeah,
Hi.
I'm actually, I'm out and I would just get through another 20 minutes.
Oh,
So I will be available. Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm all ears. I'm all here. Yeah,
Right.
listening.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Oh, I'm really, really sorry about this. I do not know
No. I
why.
mean, if
Yeah.
there is something that has
No,
happened,
no, she told me somebody suffered a stroke in the family,
oh God.
and she had to just attend to that. She's coming on. She's just
Hmm.
sending me a message.
We'll wait.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there she comes. Oh, thank you. You can admit her. Hi,
Yes.
Sudha.
Apologies, sorry. There was an
No problem.
emergency. It was an emergency that I couldn't avoid taking the call. So
I
That's
know.
okay.
There's
No
some
problem.
kind of a medical emergency. You just explained that to me. But
Okay.
anyway, let the show go on.
So, Jankar, are we good to start? Good to go?
So, Sudha, are you okay?
yes, I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes,
We
yes,
all
yes.
get here. Yeah,
Is my voice audible, clear?
absolutely. Nothing could be
Perfect.
better.
So, hello, namaste, namaskar, welcome, good afternoon, good morning, or maybe even good evening, whichever part of the world you are joining us from. My name is Deepak R. Khemani, and I am one of the co-founders of Bloom. Along with our two other co-founders who will be joining us shortly, Payal and Abhijit, it gives me great pleasure to invite and welcome all of you to this 260th. You heard it right, 260. For the past 260 weeks, 260 Sundays, every Sunday, come rain or shine, online or offline, we have been meeting. We have been meeting people who are change makers, people who are making a difference. We've had the pleasure of speaking with authors, coaches, trainers, speakers, fighter pilots, athletes, doctors, you name it, and people from across the world. People from all 7 continents have been represented on the Sunday Bloom Talk. Continuing that tradition, we have a very special guest who is joining us today. And courtesy our very own Jankar Gadkari, he is the one who has introduced her to us. So, Jankar, let me give you the opportunity to start this show. Tell us a little bit about Sudha, and then we will you can speak and have a small question answer session.
Well, anyway, give me a minute. There you go, Sudha.
Jankar is in the kitchen.
I just thought I should create the right kind of an atmosphere for the
Wonderful.
kind of वो कहते हैं ना माहौल बनाना चाहिए. So I thought I'll just make a chef's cap, and this is a
Yeah.
a
So
Bloom chef, the Bloom chef.
Jankar is
Okay.
in one of the Papa John outlets, I believe.
So we'll get to know more about Sudha as we go by. And Sudha, a good friend of mine, and uh, has a different insight into food. It is not the normal dietary talk that we are going to have as to what to eat, what not to eat, or no such diet plans is she going to give you. But she's to make you aware of what exactly goes into making a given food. And
Hmm.
we are aware of it, maybe we are not. And being a person who can call herself as a food technologist, she has done wonders in her career. And presently, Sudha is heading the list of being a director, food safety and quality assurance, Papa John's International. Now, Papa John's International is a very big pizza chain, and she can probably correct me if I'm going wrong on this. They're coming in a very big way to in India. And Sudha has been reposed with this responsibility of opening up several multiple outlets in Bangalore and in Chennai. And Sudha, you can throw some light on that as well. But yes, today we speak on a subject which is to be looked at it very positively, and not the darker side of food, but the positive side of food. Awareness, which is going to definitely create a set element of appreciation for it, and we will definitely see to it that we do not abuse this information that is there. So we begin with a very cliched adage, which is a very cliched adage which we have been knowing it for years in our own scripture. It says, Yatha anna tatha mana. You are what you eat. And by the end of the talk, I'm sure Sudha is going to give us enough or more information as to how it reflects into what we eat. Okay. As we all know, my friends, the very existence of every living being is food. Without food, nothing happens. It could be a millionaire or a billionaire, or it could be just any of the paupers that we talk about. But one common factor which makes them get going for it, which is a purpose in life, and that is food. Okay. Humans, ladies and gentlemen, are gifted with this beautiful gift which allows them to reason out and think. Yes, we are allowed to reason out and think. The best part is when we talk about this phrase, a food for thought, do we really give a food for thought for food? That's the question. Okay. Today, we have Sudha under the circumstances that she is in, considering the fact that there has been some kind of a medical emergency in the family. Appreciate, Sudha, your presence here. And I am not going to go much into it, but I'm going straight into the talk where she is going to walk us through the highways and also the main roads and alleys and by alleys of all the cow gullies. Yes or no, Sudha? All the cow gullies, alley and by alleys. So we're trying to just try and pick up some kind of a puns on all these things. So Sudha, let me ask you and quiz you with the first thing, is that as a food technologist that you call yourself, which you are, and you have been a very successful at that, how would you describe the current state of food industry in India in terms of health and wellness? Sudha, always.
Thank you, Jankar. Firstly, I would want to thank everyone to give me this opportunity to come and share my wise thoughts on food and food industry here. And as you rightly said, and a wise man once told me that awareness creates appreciation, right? So
and prevents abuse, yes.
awareness creates appreciation, and moment you appreciate, start
Yeah.
appreciating things, you stop abusing
Thank you, sir.
the things. So I thought it's a very profound, very beautiful statement which can be applied in various walks of life. With food, I think this is even more relevant when we are aware of where it's made, how it's made, who is making it. We start appreciating it more, isn't it? The moment we
Yeah.
know it's made from chef XYZ, from so and so place, we start appreciating and we value and less abuse those products. So I think it's important for all of us to understand and know where the food that we consume every day, where it comes from. With that in the background, food industry in India, to answer your question, is one of the better. We are actually, as a country, we are placed very well in terms of processing capabilities in the country. But as compared to other countries, so if you say the amount of produce that we produce in our country, what I mean by produce is the agricultural produce. How much of that is getting converted or preserved into and used into processing industry? That is very small, which means as a country, we still have a lot of opportunity to grow and feed and preserve and process our foods. There's a lot of opportunity to do it. Still, a lot of our produce goes wasted. Still, a lot of our produce is not converted into usable products. So we still have a scope. So that's a good part of it. We do have scope to do more in the country and grow as a processing country, and also as an opportunity to export to many other countries. So that's where our food industry is from an overall standard as India. In terms of know-how, technical knowledge, capabilities as compared to many other countries, India really stands. Most big companies, I don't know if you are aware, but most big companies have their R&D center, which is
Oh.
research and development, based out of India.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that's because the kind of background, that knowledge that our country holds, that really is very, very useful for, which most countries find that our technical know-how, our equipment, our ability to bring product from inception, from drawing board to final is far better. So name the top companies in food industry, they would have an R&D center or primary R&D center based out of India. Even companies like General Mills, which is such a big global company, or most companies, they do have Nestle's, they all have their R&D centers based out of India. So it's a big pat on our back. We are doing something right.
Great, great. There's something really unaware of. We are really not aware of the fact that most of the R&Ds of some huge giants of the food industry have their centers here in our own very country.
Yes.
So which
And
means
it's,
that yes, sorry.
I mean, I was saying, and it's not like the IT industry where it is because labor is cheap. It's because the know-how is good.
Okay.
These centers are usually very high tech. You would have, I mean, like bigger companies would have really good automation in these centers, and they really consider India as a very big knowledge base, and therefore they set up these centers here. Who a lot of these centers may not be doing research for India products per se, but they do product research for the globe.
Oh,
So
I
it's
see.
like that.
Okay.
And that's to just to answer your first question that yes, we do have a brilliant, bright future as a country.
Mhm, mhm. So, well, anyway, this is a great insight, Sudha, that you have given us that we happen to be a knowledge center as far as the food industry is concerned, and there are the countries in the world who depend on us. So, the second one I would like to ask you, the second way of looking at it is, and you would like to ask more and more as of now, considering the time limitation, how important Sudha is in the nutritional labeling in helping consumers make an informed choice.
See, nutritional labeling is a quick way to figure out what the product holds.
Mhm,
So, just to give you in a very layman's term, um, if you don't consume, say for example, you are suffering from cholesterol,
mhm,
and doctor says you should not consume cholesterol, anything which is cholesterol. So, a lot of products, branded products, will have them written no cholesterol.
mhm,
And you would
mhm.
pick up those packets and say, oh, this has got no cholesterol. This is what I'm going to consume. But a better and a more informed choice is to turn around and look at the label, because the label needs to have these listed. So India, globally, there is a standard nutritional label which will tell you what's the fat, salt, sugar, cholesterol, sugars from direct, what type of sugars, all those are listed on it. So you should have nutritional labeling is mandatory for our country. Any product which is of a certain size and packaged, which is sealed, needs to
Mhm.
have nutritional label. That's by law in the country. If you find any product which does not have nutritional label, you can actually go and complain, because their license will be revoked if they are faltering the labeling law of the country. So nutritional label should be there.
Can you
It's
give
not
us a
mandatory.
couple of
Sorry.
examples? Can you to make it little
Everything. You
more?
buy a bottle of ketchup, you buy a packet of chips, you buy anything. Like even if you buy like a small packet of some dip, like a dip sauce, which say you get in McDonald's, you buy nuggets and you get one mustard sauce, small to dip it. If it's a sealed cup, then it will have a nutritional information. It's mandatory by law. Anything which is sealed needs
मनी
to
नहीं
have.
वो एक बुड्ढी जो जाती है एक तो बढ़ गया नहीं चालू है 2 बजे
Sorry.
तक
I don't know. Deepak, can you mute it? Yeah, Chandra. Yeah, carry on, Sudha. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so anything that is sealed needs to have the nutritional label. So this now, why should one have the nutritional label is to be aware of what the product has got. As scientists and technologists, we can look at the nutrition label and figure out what will be the formulation of the product as well, because it's a direct correlation. For a consumer, yes, for a consumer, as I said, if I take a packet of cashews and you
Mhm,
want to see, is it healthy for me to consume? Oh, we all know it's healthy. Cashews are good for ourselves, but it's got 100 grams of cashews in that packet.
mhm.
And if you feel okay, I should eat some. Moment you know that you're picking up, you're eating that whole packet, you will know how much grams. If you turn around, you will know how much of fat you have consumed, how much of, cholesterol will also be mentioned. So it'll be zero in case of cashews. So it
Okay.
also helps prevent abuse, because I was once in a mall and I found a guy coming to me and selling to me a packet of cashews and saying, "Ma'am, our cashews are very nice. Our almonds are excellent. Why don't you buy them?" I said, "Yeah, it's good, nice. Where have you sourced?" He said, "Yeah, we've got from so and so, and they are cholesterol free." And I'm like, these products don't have cholesterol inherently. What do you mean cholesterol free? No, ma'am. Cashews and almonds have cholesterol. I said, yeah. Which cashews and almonds have? So yeah, no, ma'am. They are cholesterol free. So anything which is not animal based will not have cholesterol. So basically, only animal products have cholesterol. Cashews, almonds, any nuts, they don't have cholesterol. So
Oh.
people, to prevent negative marketing, it's also important to read the nutrition to see, okay, I mean, anyways, the cholesterol is zero because it's a non-animal based product. So it creates an awareness. So nutritional label, while you might seem French and Latin initially, but when you read it, you'll start understanding, oh, it says fats, it says sugars, it says protein. Today protein is big. Everybody wants to ensure they consume equivalent amount of protein for their fitness. So if you weigh 70 kgs, the thumb rule is you should at least have 70 grams of protein. So it's easy. You turn around and say, okay, this packet of whatever you're consuming has got 12 grams of protein. So it's like, oh, this is good. If I consume the whole thing, I'll consume 12 grams. So it gives you an awareness. You can plan how you have to plan your diet, your food, without depending on anybody else. So nutrition label is a great thing, and it helps us creating awareness on the food and prevent abuse of any wrong marketing.
Well, I have the second quiz to you is kind of an extension of the same thing you've already informed us with. But let me just put it across to you. Maybe there's something that you can pick up and give us an extraordinary information on this. Do you think, Sudha, there is enough regulation around food labeling in India, which you have already answered? Yes, you have. Especially about misleading claims on the health benefits. That is the most important element of this question.
Yeah, so see, I think legally our country has done a good job. And why I would say good job, because I travel to so many markets and I look at labels and I work with regulatories in most country. Our country has done a good job in terms of defining it clearly, what should be there on the label. So when I say defining it clearly, so our country mandates that ingredients should be listed in everything that you are packaged. But what I mean by package proof, packaged product is something which is sealed. It comes under packaged. If something which is, see, if you go to a restaurant and they give it to you in those usable dabba, that is not considered as package. Anything which can be opened and reclosed, that's not considered as a sealed. Anything which is sealed, for which you have to break open something, that's called a sealed. That also is defined in our law, in our standards. So these sealed products, the law clearly defines, as I said, what all should be there. It should be weight. There should be ingredient declaration. Now, weight means if the packet is supposed to hold 100 grams, then at every point it should be 100 grams. It cannot be 95 grams.
Okay.
And if it's 95, it's wrong. You can put a claim. So which is what companies would do. They would always have, they will err on the higher side because they don't want people complaining and, then they have to, it'll be wrong on their part. So, so weight has to be there. Ingredient listing. Ingredient listing also has a pattern. It has to be in a descending order. Whatever is the highest ingredient, like, in terms of formulation, in terms of quantity, say if it's ketchup, tomatoes ideally should be the highest, right? So tomatoes should be number one in that listing. If in the listing, number one is water, and say something else, and tomato comes third or fourth, then okay, it's not primarily, it's not the right product. Many times people sell a product saying, oh, this contains say, what's a good thing, so say spirulina, or it contains drumstick. Drumstick is very popular these days. Moringa. So there are lots of moringa and great. But if you turn around and the ingredient listing may, if moringa is like the last ingredient.
Okay.
Out of 30 ingredients, last ingredient is moringa, means it's very little.
Okay. But don't they give you the quantity that goes into it, the percentage?
No, that's the formulation, right? So for you as a label reader, you should just, for you it is like, and maybe if you pick up a label, you can see that you would have the first ingredient is the highest volume of the product, the second is the less, and then the less. So it is in a descending order.
Okay.
So usually flavors, colors, seasonings, all that salt, all that will come towards the end.
Okay, because it's at least in order, least
It
in
is, it's a
in
least
quantity.
in terms of addition.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you are buying a product for a particular ingredient, then you should turn around and see the label if that ingredient is in substantial quantity or not.
Okay.
So beetroot. So the other day somebody was buying beetroot chips.
Okay.
Now you might feel great. Oh wow, I'm eating beetroot chips. Ideally, I would want it actually made out of beetroot. But if it's made of some starch and potato and some maida and everything, and beetroot is just a little bit towards the end, a little bit of color, then it will be probably the second last or the third last ingredient.
Oh, so ideally, when somebody picks up a let's say a packet of beetroot, thinking that it is a beetroot per se, one needs to go through the ingredient part of it, and you might find n number of products, and also a part of it would be beetroot, which would be last listed.
Yes.
Which also does mean that a very minuscule amount of beetroot has actually gone into that one chip.
Yeah.
Oh, so just a question now that we are on this. One is when somebody says it's a beetroot chip, then I buy it considering that it is a beetroot chip. I'm not an educated consumer. So would the first statement saying it's a beetroot chip be a misleading fact?
Yeah. It's not, I can't classify it as misleading because as per the law, as long as you are adding it in the product, you can call it. Or you can claim it's got. There isn't law in terms of in the ingredients that unless say for example, some products the country does have law. For example, like we were speaking the other day, tomato ketchup.
Yeah.
Or the word ketchup. So moment you read in a bottle ketchup, then the government list or identifies or mentions in your in the food safety standards that you should have minimum, it should be made out of tomatoes. It can't be made out of any other vegetable. It has to be made out of tomatoes, and it should have minimum so much of tomatoes in it. So so that way, for certain category of products, there is a the law specifies that it should not have X or it should not have Y. Only then you can call it ketchup. Similarly, cheese will have to be made with cheese. You can't be having something else and calling it cheese.
To a large extent, Sudha, I see circumventing the law. A lot of loopholes in that, provided you have qualified yourself, as you said. So, for example, you I remember you talking to me, and you said that to qualify a given sauce, and I don't mean to say it's sauce, a product to be called as a ketchup, it should have 25% and more of tomato ingredients in that entire content. To qualify a given drink as a juice, you should have 25% and above juice of a given fruit or whatever. Failing which you can call it a sauce, failing which you can call it a drink or a fruit drink, something of that kind, if I remember your discussion with me. So would you be able to explain that to our viewers today a little more?
Yeah, so again, so we'll take the ketchup incidents first. So ketchup is a very commonly used name in India. We love ketchup with everything. And we believe the ketchup is red in color, made out of tomatoes. That's how it all started. At some point, the government realized, and this I'm saying long back, we realized that ketchup is also made with other vegetables and tomatoes and something else. So we don't really know if it's 100% tomato ketchup or not. So they therefore decided, let's put it very distinctly clearly, that if you have to call a product ketchup, then you should have a total solids of minimum 25% made out of tomatoes.
Okay.
25%. So that way, ketchup, only then you can call it ketchup. If you are putting anything else, say I'm putting apple puree, or I'm putting some other kaddu or something else I'm putting, then I have to call it a sauce.
Okay.
So when you read the bottle, because there is a strong labeling law in the country, the manufacturers will adhere to it. You don't have the awareness. It will look exactly like ketchup, similar looking bottle with a similar looking label, but it will say tomato sauce.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got it. Now
Versus
that
say tomato ketchup.
I get the distinction. But anyway, a quick question. In our country, Sudha, there's often a choice between traditional home cooked meal, and that is what an normal Indian speaks about, ghar ka khana khana. And in our country, there is often a choice between traditional home cooked meal and a packaged processed food. From a health point of view, how do you compare these two? Are processed foods necessarily bad?
Yeah. So there are home cooked food is ideally good. And when I'm saying home cooked food, it does not mean you go pick up a packet of bread, then take mayonnaise from outside, take butter from outside, and just blend everything together and cook it and eat it. What I really mean is making the home cook from scratch, the product and making. But mind you, there also is some processing which is involved. For example, you will make a roti, you will get processed wheat, which is wheat is taken, it's processed into flour. That's what you need, and you make your roti. Similarly, vegetables are grown somewhere, you get it, or there is a garlic paste, a ginger paste, dhania powder, red chili powder. You will have these spices. So these are all processed foods. So chili dehydrated and ground is processed. It's processed. Turmeric dried ground is processed. Oil that you consume is also processed. So processing of food, mind you, is not wrong, because without that, it will not be, we as a country will not be able to feed thousands and millions of people every single day. So you will have to do some amount of processing to make the food available, viable for to feed so many mouths. Now, over processing at some time and eating excess of those over processed foods is where the negativity starts. For example, if you are somebody who loves to eat, say, sausages or salami or like say mayonnaise and which is processed further and further to create a newer product, that is called over processed or extremely heavily processed food. Using a raw material like sugarcane, making it into sugar is a simple process, making into a jaggery. From there, you take that and you make it into something else, some kind of syrups, and flavor those syrups, and add some flour and put something else and make those some specialized sauces. Then they become over processed.
Okay.
So that's the basic difference. So processing industry, processing of food is critical so that you and I can cook and make home cooked food. Plus, we can take this food to millions of people around our country. So processing of food is critical. Minimizing the use of over processed food is what we should aim for, and try and keep as simple our diet, our meals. So even if you have a choice of going out to eat, you would pick and choose products which are semi-processed or less processed, and choose the products which are simple in nature.
Okay. Yeah, because there have always been some kind of a controversy and a talk about a very typical meat product, and that is sausages. Because there is always a saying that whatever remains as offals, or maybe the spare parts of a given meat, maybe of a goat or a mutton, or I mean, or whichever, or a chicken, is minced to make the ingredients which go into that. Which ultimately make it into a sausage. So these kind of things which appear to be a great appeal, I mean, eye value, which attaches, especially during your breakfast and otherwise, may actually not contain the right kind of elements which go into it. I mean, this is what I would go home with. I understand. But well, anyway, we are going further with our carry on.
No,
Sorry.
so you bring a good point, Jankar, on the whole sausage thing. I've known often my friends, they will tell me, and I just cooked a nice breakfast for my son. I just sliced some sausages, tossed it in the pan with a little oil, and gave him with an egg and bread. That's the everyday morning breakfast. And somewhere in our minds, we think sausage is good meat, which is rolled in something. It's easy for us to cut, slice, eat, and consume. But to be very true, sausage is very high in saturated fat. And usually, as you rightly said, they are made from minced meat and mechanically separated meat, which is the meat which goes very close to the bones. And that is not very good quality meat. And the other negative on that is sausages generally to preserve, this point you must know, to preserve those sausages,
Yeah.
they use nitrites or nitrates, which prevents spoilage and gives you that natural pinkish color. You know, the pink color that you find in sausage, that's because of those nitrites. Now, these are absolutely not good. There's research and notes which say that overconsumption over many years could lead to cancer. It's carcinogenic. Again, all the sausages, all of them, whichever brand you buy, will be very high in sodium.
Okay.
You know, very high. So minimum 800 to 1000 milligrams per serving. So that's really, really high. It's equivalent to what you must consume entire day. So if you are a diabetic or sugar patient or, or a BP patient, sausages is not for you. And again, it's because it's high fat, it's high sodium, it's got nitrites. As compared to fresh meats, it does not have any vitamin, mineral, nothing. So typically nutritional value is low. It's got a lot of fillers because it's not 100% meat. It's maybe 30-40% meat, and others are fillers to make it a certain kind. So it's firm for you to slice, chop, great. So it's not a great product. For me personally, I think that's absolutely a poison to consume with high salt, fat, preservative, everything in it.
Okay. So, Sudha, your take on the colors,
On
edible
the
colors.
colors.
Colors,
Colors.
yes. Yeah, yeah.
Colors, artificial colors, definitely very, very bad. You don't need it. It is just for visual appearance. We feel anything which looks good is good for us. We feel it is appetizing, so we pick up. But I would say those little bit of colors is what is creating problem in your health. It may not happen. I mean, somebody would argue color is very little. It's 0.05 and it's so little. Itna sa we put, but you don't realize that there are colors in many things. Right from the jam you pick, it's got that strawberry jam will have that pink color. Then you pick say something else like a chocolate or a sauce which is green color. You bought Thai curry, that's got a subtle green color. So everything is got a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Or you go and take the chicken tikka or paneer tikka, the marinade, the masala to give you that reddish thing. They add the red color. Or say pav bhaji, they add red color. This is not good at all. It goes. The kidneys cannot process it. It over the years, I have spoken to multiple doctors and gastroenterologists, and everybody comes back with this thought that this clearly is not good for our health because our body does not know how to clean it, digest it, and throw it off. So it's just collecting in your body and harnessing all kind of, over consumption over many years. You will start seeing that there will be changes in your body. Many years back, you and I probably didn't have as much, but today's generation, every meal from breakfast, lunch, dinner, if you sit down and start calculating, you'll be appalled to see the number of products we consume and everything has color. So if we as consumers say we don't want products with color, we are okay if the pickle looks dull in few days because it's a natural product. It has to start looking dull. But because it should not look dull, you add a yellow color to make it still looking bright.
Really.
Or you add to make a product look green, they would add a color. So the food industry has developed some natural colors, but the problem with natural colors is that they will not remain permanently bright. Over a period of time, the natural colors will also come down.
Right.
So when we see a product which is dull in color, you see the nutritional label to answer, from the way we spoke today. If it says no color, natural, which means it's good for you. Don't throw the packet out because it looks dull.
No color. Yeah. Very typical question which is related to you more so. Fast food chain are known for their consistency and standardization. We all know that. We have got enough amount of foreign brand coming here and making a good market out of it. How does the challenge of maintaining a taste and nutritional quality across large multi-locational chain plays a role in health-conscious menu development in India? You're a part of it, so some little insight on the food, the chain, the fast food chain food products.
So, so fast food chains again, I mean, depends on which chain we are referring to. If I pick up the big companies, which is say the McDonald's or say in my case the Papa John's or any of the big organizations, you don't go to the chain because you want to eat nutritious food. You go to the food chain because you want to eat good quality food, and good quality therefore is also nutritious, is the way I would connect it. Now, how I'm saying is, what I really mean by that is, these chains will ensure that the food is consistent. Every store, every place that you go, their processes will be linked towards ensuring that it's consistent. So let me tell you this. Say, for example, French fries. Is French fries nutritious? Definitely no. It does not have all the nutrition that you need, but it is potato and it is fried. So when a McDonald's wants to sell a French fries to you or a Burger King, what do? They buy a certain kind of potato, which has certain quality of starch and moisture, so that when fried, the potato absorbs as minimal oil as possible.
Okay.
Now that works. That way, the nutrition of that is better than you buying a potato in your house, cutting it and frying it. So you will feel, oh, I am eating homemade potato fries, but that will have far more higher calories and not nutritious versus the French fries that you would buy from a company who buys a better quality potato, which ensures there's minimal oil pick. Now, why would they do this? Do they do this because they want to they care as much for the people? I would say they do this more because oil is expensive and they want to fry it in as minimal oil as possible and yet give a great taste to the product. So hence you reverse engineer and figure out which potato will fry fast, will give a quick color and absorb less oil. So that is how the whole food industry operates. They work on consistency, especially the fast food will work on consistency, easy to do, so that these restaurants they can multiply faster and the processes support that. So they will process the food to a certain extent so that it's replicable and consistent across factories. They ensure that these are manufactured in companies which have the right set of know-how, equipments, which will maintain safety, hygiene for you to consume. So I don't know if I'm answering your question right and if that's what you are expecting.
I'm getting it.
So that's how they bring all of that to life. And if you want any specific examples, so say for example, in a pizza company, we would go to one flour miller, identify the right variety of wheat, which will give you the right bread. And once you identify the right variety of wheat, you will see how can I get this year long? Does it mean I buy the wheat at a price and keep it in silos and ensure that the quality of that is good? And because I want to buy it when the quality is really nice and ripe, so I can give you consistent. So every time Jankar comes to me, my bread should feel consistent. Now, if as industry you don't do those kind of things, then the product is very inconsistent. Someday the bread is very good, someday it's flat, someday it's chewy. So some companies, what they would do in this case, they would start adding chemicals to make it consistent. But the good ones who believe that they have to do the right things, and those should be the choices we should make, that they will ensure they buy it in the right quality and supply it with control atmosphere to all the restaurants. So that's how they would buy the right wheat, a centralized location. They will make the dough, send it to their stores, and in the store they will make the pizza, put fresh vegetables, fresh cheese, bake it and serve. So that's how a consistent flow line would work in most businesses. Similarly, for McDonald's, they would identify the right farm who will who will make the right chicken. They will control all of that so that the chicken or the vegetables, that is lettuce, are grown in a certain condition. There is no pesticides, there is no antibiotic, and they will get that to a centralized place and send it through their controlled vehicles to all these other thousands of restaurants that they have. And there they will have simple processes so that the crew working there can make the final product and give it to you. So in my mind, this whole structure, this whole flow ensures that there is consistency and quality to the product that comes to your table.
So as I see it, that what I derive from here is that it is as a food technologist, we would give preference to safety more than the nutritional value, because we know there is a compromise in the nutritional value somewhere or the other, considering the fact that most of the food that comes on the table, whether it is the original food that comes and we consume it, or it's a part of the process that we use it. Let's say, for example, as you said, the flour or anything, it is already processed and we are still making something out of it. So you would rather go for the safety part of it more than the nutrition part of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think number one is safety. Like if you ever have to decide between safety and quality and nutrition, number one by far for everyone, regardless what age group you are, you should always choose safety. Is the product safe for consumption? And just to give you a simple example, if I'm driving somewhere, going somewhere, and there is roadside tela who's selling samosas, and there is a pan ka dukan which has got a packet of lays, a packet of biscuits and cookies and all that. While I know that this guy who's probably making samosa or making dosa on the road is healthier than taking, say, a packet of chips and a packet of chips or biscuits, anything, anything which is sealed. Since I don't know the location and I don't know what kind of oil is used, how hygienic it is, I would not go for that. I don't know what chutney and when it is made, so I would just buy the packet of Lays and chips because safety is prime important.
So
Versus eating something and having a bug in the body and that creating further complications. Within that also, what I would do, that if I see a packet of chips from Lay's and a packet of chips from some company that I've never heard of, I would turn around and I said, again, I'm saying that reading label is mandatory and you must do it. If you can read the language, you must do it. You should see where is it manufactured. Is it a company that if you have access to Google, figure out, because that way you ensure that he's not using products, you will have some kind of confidence that he or she, whoever is manufacturing it, is using the right oil, is using the clean method and processes. How does the government govern this? All these food industries like Pepsi, if they are making the Lays, or if it's any other company like Hyphen or Balaji or whatever that you see in the market, they in their factories would have certain food safety audits which happen, which will ensure that they make product in a certain way. Now, if it's somebody who's making in his backyard, in his kitchen, and sealing it, and he's taken a license and he's put on it and he's selling, I don't know what he's cooking. So to just give you quickly, I know we are running short of time. I was once in an exhibition and somebody was selling these chaklis and a lot of Indian savories. And it did not have labels in terms of what the labeling law says. So I went and asked him, where is this made? Oh, we just make it here in Santa Cruz. Okay, great. I said, okay, I would like to come and see. And then I went there. I was aghast. And so fortunately, they allowed. I introduced. I said, no, I can help you. Show me what you do. I will help you in building this up. And I was appalled to see that they had oil which had some brand of oil which I'd never heard of. So I asked him, where did you get this oil from? He said, so X and Y vendor sold to him. And then I then sat and explained to him that just picking up oil from any vendor is not the right thing. There's a lot of reused oil that is further circulated, in the markets. You have to pick oil from the right companies, from the right origin. Even if it costs a little more, you will have better longevity and better quality. So many times when we go out, if a product does not have a label, don't buy it. because you don't know where it is made and what they are making it from.
Okay.
And once you read the label, try and see if you can identify the brand. If not, figure it out. If there's no option, it is still better than having something which is opened. So for me, safety is number one. Second comes quality, and third will come nutrition. That would be my, the way I would approach it.
So I have a small and final question to you before I keep it open for the audience. A quick Q&A that they would like to quiz you with. Considering the present lifestyle, now I'm coming to a normal household. Considering the present lifestyle, we have less or no time, and we all know that. I don't need to explain things to you. Considering the present lifestyle, where we have less or no time to look into the basics of food, what would be your thumb rule advice in maintaining and preserving the food at home?
Sorry, what is your word? I couldn't hear the last
What
part.
would be your thumb rule? Thumb rule, let's not get much technical. What would be your thumb rule advice in maintaining and preserving the food at home?
Okay. Thumb rule to preserve food. I mean, say, most people these days, and do you want me to specify in the vegetarian or non-vegetarian or
Both of them, if you can, quickly, if you can.
So, see, frozen food is always far, far, far better than chilled. While people think the reverse, when you freeze food, it retains the nutrition, prevents any microbial growth, and it stays better. But not everything can be frozen. Like, for example, a mayonnaise cannot be frozen, but any kind of sauces or gravies can be frozen. So if you've made a lot of quantity of some gravy, you put it to freezer. That will preserve it better than keeping it in the chiller condition. And the best way is to pack it into smaller packets. Like, for example, most ladies would do it in mango season, tomato season, peas season. You would take all that, you'll make it into small, you will blanch it, or you will just peel it. You pack it into small containers or small bags and keep it in your freezer. So freezing definitely, is the best way to do.
Okay.
Even for bread, I would say that freezing is much better. Chapati, any kind of bread that you make, freezing is much better than chilling, because that way chiller dehydrates the product, loses nutrition. Freezing just freezes it. Nothing really happens to it. Vegetables, sauces, as I said, everything freezer is definitely. So for me, if you are doubtful, if I'm not going to consume this, what do I do? Freeze it. That's it. Freezing just completely kills or stops the bacterial growth and retains the nutrition. Instead of, in our fridges, the freezer is small and the fridge is big. It should be the reverse. Trust me, it should be the reverse.
Okay.
You try this, put your bread into freezer and use it directly from frozen some other time. You would roll, even your chapatis would be much better.
Okay.
So apart from oil-based sauces like mayonnaise, I can't think of any Indian food that you can't freeze. Mayonnaise is not Indian. Mayonnaise you cannot freeze because that is oil and water. So how mayonnaise is made, oil and water are taken together and they are blended in and they put a chemical to hold it. Moment you freeze it, the water expands and it breaks the oil off. So it separates.
Okay.
So you can't do an emulsion, but otherwise everything else you can freeze. So my thumb rule is cool it quickly and freeze it. So if it's a hot food, you cool it quickly, tightly seal it,
and freeze.
Freeze it. That's it.
So thank you very much, Sudha, for this lovely insight. Though we had to quickly rush through it since considering the time lag, but definitely would not be justifying the audience. So if you have any quick questions, Deepak and the people who are present at the moment, you can shoot, and Sudha is here to give you the response.
Jankar, thank you for taking this session today, and thank you, Sudha, for joining in despite that emergency. Thank you so much. What we'll do is, since this is a truncated session and it's a Sunday afternoon, and she probably needs to be elsewhere, and a lot of us, on this Sunday holiday, need to be there with our families. What I will do is, we'll see to it that we bring back Sudha on one of our forthcoming shows, so that we can have a detailed discussion and a few sets of questions and answers with her. I'd like to thank you, one, for introducing her to us, for her taking out time from her busy schedule. Jankar told me she's busy in the launch of that new venture of yours where you are working with Papa John and all that. So we would love, to welcome you back on our show one of these next Sundays. Thank you everybody for joining in. Thank you, and with the promise that we will get back Sudha once again and request you to join us again next Sunday on the 261st Sunday Bloom Talk Show. Thank you, Jankar. Thank you, Sudha. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll get that. Thank you.